Welcome to Right Side Trading, where you can learn how to trade on the right side with confidence. Today is October 1st, 2016, and we are here to talk about the weekly market review. But before we do so, let me direct your attention to the bottom of our webpage. If you look at our disclosure statements, the area I want to highlight in particular is this area that says our products and services are provided solely for educational purposes. Our written and verbal statements, including those provided on our website by staff members, testimony, individuals, affiliates, and clients, are personal judgments and should be regarded as such. These written and verbal statements do not constitute investment advice. We are not licensed financial advisors. The government does want us to let you know that. So therefore, please, before you make any trading decision, consult the advice of a licensed financial advisor. All right, so that being said, let me take you to the chart for the week and also the end of the month. Okay, because yesterday was my birthday. Woohoo! Thank you everybody that wished me happy birthday. And at the same time, it was the end of the month. For those of you guys who are looking to see dramatic changes in the market, up or down, at the end of the day, with all the scariness that took place and all the excitement that took place, all we had was the market really not making any major move for the month of September. Now, this is not something that is unexpected. I think I have already mentioned that in the past videos that this market is in a bullish phase. However, it's very common to something that I have been referring to, which is a very similar chart. And let me do that real quick. I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to show you this is the chart of the SPX, and this is what we're looking at. But can anybody tell me what the difference is from that chart and this chart? Is the SPX, all right, same time frame on the monthly chart. However, the only difference, if you got this right, is if you look at the dates down here, 1985. You see that? You might not be able to see that, but this is 1984, 1983, 1982, 1981, and this right here is showing March 29, 1985. Okay, so why do I bring that up? I've been talking about this for a while now, and I'll keep on talking about it because the pattern that I see here from 1985 is very, very similar to the pattern that I see right here. If anybody knows a gentleman by the name of Paul Tudor Jones, you can actually Google the guy's name on or YouTube him, Paul Tudor Jones. There was actually a video about him somewhere out there that showed when back in the 1980s, I think it was 1985, 1986, 1987, he actually predicted the crash of 1987. Okay. However, the interesting thing about it was how he predicted it. He predicted it based on the fact that he had a business partner who was able to use charting softwares at the time to mimic what was going on, what was going on in the market in 1929. And it was a very, very direct correlation. They saw how the trust was moving just the same way it was moving in 1929. And for that reason, they were able to prepare themselves for the crash that was coming, and they made tons and tons and tons of money. Okay. Since then, a lot of people have kind of like tried to replicate that success by actually trying to anticipate or see what past patterns have looked like and see if they could use that to kind of see if there's any correlation to what's going on. And that's simply what I'm doing too right here. Okay. And I can't tell you how similar. I mean, just go back again and look at this chart again. And most of you guys, most people probably would not know the difference between what is taking place right now and what was taking place in 1984 and 1985. Okay, we had this market that had been going sideways. It had a small dip right here, but for the most part, it went sideways for about 20 months. That's the same thing that is happening right here. It went sideways. There was a slight dip, but it went sideways for about 20 months from here, let's say from there to there, went to about 20 months. And then what you saw happen was that we had a big pop in price, and then the market went sideways for a couple more months. Well, it's the exact same thing that has happened. We had a big pop making all-time highs. By the way, what happened in 1985, let me switch back to 1985. This was an all-time high at that time as well, okay? So we had an all-time high, and then the market did nothing for the next 2 months. And that's exactly what we see going on over here, where the market went up, and did nothing for exactly 2 months. Now, before I go further and show you what ended up happening after that, I do have to say, we have to keep in mind that I am not shocked if next month, October, the month of October, is another indecision month where we make no money, we lose no money. Basically, we have another doji type of month in the month coming in October. And there's a couple of reasons why I say that. One is the election. Okay, so a lot of people have been riding on this election. I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, in election months the market drops, this," or the election year, I should say, the market drops. And some people say, "Oh, the market rallies." And so there's been a lot of people waiting to see what is going to happen after the election. Who becomes president? Is it Trump? Is it Clinton? Is it Trump? Is it Clinton? If Clinton becomes president, this was going to happen to the market. And if Trump becomes the president, this is what's going to happen to the market. So there's all this talk about that. So I would not be surprised. I mean, I would literally not be surprised if the market does nothing for the month of October. Basically, when I mean nothing is basically we have the ups and downs, and by the end of the month, we have another doji month. Okay? And then watch what happens after the election in November, okay? So my forecast, and it's just a forecast, is that we'll probably see no action again in the month of October. When I say no action, doesn't mean that we're not going to have some big spikes to the upside and big spikes to the downside. But I said by the end of October, I would not be surprised if we see another month that ends just like this. And then we'll see what happens in November, where we might really see the market move. Now, that being said, let me take you back to 1985 and see what happened. We had that spike just like we had in July of 2016. August was kind of like, indecision, kind of like how we had the next month, September, which is what we just ended right now, had nothing, which is kind of like what happened right here. And then I want you guys to take note of what happened next. The next month after this was a month that, October, or the next month after this, which is in April, was another indecision month. And this is exactly what I mean, that I would not be surprised if we see something like this in the month of October. And then the month after that, what we have is a big spike to the upside. So if November becomes that month where we have a big spike to the upside, do not be shocked, okay? Do not be shocked. Because again, it's very, very strong similarities to what happened in the month of April of 1985. Now, you can go back to this chart, 1985, and check to see what happened after that, but I'll leave that to you guys to do so. All we can say now is we have to look at this market and say, how do we want to trade this, okay? So, in the event that what we are seeing in 1985 does not pan out to happen again in the year 2016, okay? So that's almost like 30 years later, is it? Yeah, about 30 years later. So what we have to do then is, try to see how do we want to play this market, okay? So nothing has really changed from our prognosis of what we've seen in this market for quite some time, what we've looked at for quite some time. And that is, we're looking at this line right here. There's no surprise that the market came down and tested this. We've been talking about nothing whatsoever. Now, the only difference is if we see the market close below here, that's a very bad sign, okay? So if we had, say, let me do something like this. Say we had the next month do something like this, where it closes like that, all right? And let's make this a red candle, okay? So we have something like this where the market kind of closes like that. Then I would say that we have a problem, okay? Then I would say we have a problem. But until then, we need to be looking at this market as a market that is going higher, okay? And so we just have to wait and see what happens. And even still, when we have this, we'll need really the month of November. So to me, in my opinion, I would have to really wait till the month of November to see how this market is really trying to shape up. But, if this was to happen like this in the month of October, that would be a concern for me. Until then, we just stay long in our positions. We don't enter any bearish position. Right now, we are not bearish in any positions that we have whatsoever. All of our positions are long positions, as of right now. We have no intent of getting out of any of them. There's so many stocks that I see that are setting themselves up looking to go higher, and it's just the way it is. So anyways, that's kind of like what we're looking at. If we look at the Nasdaq, same scenario. The only difference is the Nasdaq is actually even stronger, because we can see that where all the other markets were actually closing as a doji, the Nasdaq, on the other hand, is continuing its breakout from that level right there. Okay, and that's a very positive sign right there for the Nasdaq. Okay. Excuse me, I apologize about that. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Just gonna hold it. Here's the Russell. The Russell's been doing fantastically well. Okay. And yes, we had down in month, but if you look at this is a stock market that is just looking like it's trying to go higher. Now, you can blame the Feds, you can blame what's going on in corruptions, you can blame manipulation, you can blame whatever, the election, politics, whatever it is that you want to do. But at the end of the day, we keep on coming back to the same thing, which is, you got to learn how to read the charts and be on the right side of that chart. Okay, and so, again, even looking at the Russell, the level that we have to watch on the Russell would be this level right here. We don't want to see the market close back down below this level right here. That would be a bad sign. I didn't do that for the Nasdaq. Let's go back to the Nasdaq. All right, and the level we're watching for is here. Onto the market closes below here. I'm not looking at this as any bad problem. Now, intra-month, meaning that, someday during the month, could it come down over here? Yes. Because this is a monthly chart. At the end of the month, we do not want to see the market down here below this red line on the Nasdaq at the end of the month. If we do, we have a problem. So that means come October 30th, we do not want to see, or October 31st, whichever that is, we do not want to see the market down below this level right here. Okay? Now, let me go to the Dow Jones Industrial. Okay, the same exact situation is happening. Unfortunately, not too much to talk about, because, again, we've been looking at this for quite some time. And, this is one of the things that I tell people is like, you should not be shocked this is what's happening in the market, because if you've been paying attention for a while, you will know exactly the levels that are telling you when to get concerned and the areas that are telling you not to get concerned. Looking at it at big picture really, really helps. So I'm looking at this right here again. If the Nasdaq closes, the Dow closes below this level right here. Notice last Monday it actually dipped below it, but then it went back up. When it dipped below it, and everybody was worried during the day, that day when it dipped below it, said nothing to worry about. Let's see what happens by the end of the month. Okay. And I know for some people it was so scary. It's like, there's no way this thing is definitely going to drop. And then they were shocked where the next day, 2 days later, the market was back up again. To me, that was nothing uncommon. Some people cried foul. Some people said, this is not right. But at the end of the day, if you look at the big picture, it was just telling you there's nothing to panic about, nothing to worry about, nothing to concern yourself about, but just be patient. All right, so now we go into the Dow Transportation. And this right here, in my opinion, is the one that gives me the best out of all 5 of the indexes that I look at. That tells me that, this market is really trying to go higher. Because when the market was down and going into correction mode in 2015, the Dow Transportation was the one out of all of them that had the hardest time, okay? The Dow Transportation was the one that had the hardest time. This one actually went into a bear market, okay? But it, too, has reversed since then, and then now is beginning to, break this downtrend that it had, okay? It's been going sideways for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and then finally breaking out, just this month, okay? It finally, it finally broke out just this month. Another very strong sign that this market is trying to go higher, not lower. And I know I've been saying this for a while. You just have to be patient, okay? You have to be patient. I know there's people who want to make money every single day, but that will frustrate you. All right. But if you're the kind of person who wants to just be on the right side, come back a year later, 2 years later, and see your portfolio, your 401k, your retirement account, double in size, or, go up 20, 40, 50% in size, those are going to be a little bit more of a longer term strategy. And I like the quote that I heard somebody say that Warren Buffett quoted. I'm not sure if he actually quoted it himself, but that's what somebody said. And whether he said it or not, I think it's just a good phrase, which is over time, money will flow from the active investor to the passive investor. Okay. Over time, money will flow from the active investor to the passive investor, meaning that those who are truly trying to be so super active will end up losing that money, and those who are being patient are the ones that are going to get rewarded. Okay, and I know a lot of people are always scared about whether this market is going to go crashing down and all that stuff. We're in a bubble and all that stuff. We'll deal with that when that comes in. Trust me, we will let you know when that happens. Okay, just like we let you guys know back in 2015 that we were in a correction mode. Same thing will happen, all right? But as for right now, the charts are not showing anything that is saying that this market is trying to go down. If it does, we'll change it at that time and we'll deal with it then. But there's no use crying wolf when there's no wolf out there, okay? So that's kind of like what we're looking at as far as the markets is concerned in the United States. Typically what I try to do as well is try to see maybe we can go into like some of the world markets and just see what's going on. And so what I like to do is just kind of like look at some of those real quickly. This is the Canadian market, okay? This is the Canadian market. Real quickly, again, if we took, this right here, the Canadian market was in a bearish market back in 2015. It's breaking out above that, and then now, again, is doing the same thing where this month is breaking out even higher. Not the strongest, but again, still just showing signs of positive upward movement. Okay, this is the Russian index. Okay, and it too is beginning to do something. Our thing was we wanted to see it close above here, and it's kind of very slightly there, but again, just signs that this could kind of go higher. This one we'll have to wait another month just to see that it actually goes higher rather than coming back down again. All right, the next one I want to take a look at is the Brazilian market, okay? And we're looking at the Brazilian market, and we still have a long ways to go on the Brazilian market, but if we look at it from down here, when it broke out, and it's just, trending higher, okay? Made another higher high and a higher low. So I'll just show you this right here. Made another higher high and a higher low. So it's showing that it's trying to, go higher, all right? This is the French market right here. Nothing really going on. We just have to be patient and wait to see what happens, okay? We draw a line from here, connecting these highs right there. Still in that kind of downtrend, but still too early to try to decide where to go with that one. Let's go to this one, which is the Taiwan market, okay? And if we look at the Taiwan market, nothing really active going on as far as this is concerned. But again, another strong month to the upside, which is a very good sign. If we look at this, the market has just been trending higher and higher and higher. Each close, you look at this close, from this close right here was higher than that close. This close was higher than this close. This close was higher than that close. Even on this red was still higher than that close. And then now we have even a higher close. So, again, markets that are just showing signs that it's trying to go higher, not lower. The German market, similar thing as well too, okay? I know a lot of stuff isn't going on in Germany right now. The key area for this market in Germany right now would be, to close above this level right here, sitting right there. If October comes and it closes above that, or November comes and closes above that, that would be very, very good signs that this market is trying to go higher. EWJ, which is a Japanese market, all right? The same thing is happening. We just have to be patient. There's still a little bit more room for this to go. But the cool thing about it is we had reversal signals right here telling us it's trying to go up. The market is going up and up and up, and it's still on its way going up. So I'm trying to show you things even around the world that is showing you that these markets are trying to go higher. Here is the Australian market, and this one very slightly we want to see it close, right above this area right here. So sitting right there for this month. But if you look at this line that we drew right here, this is the bottom of this. So the market comes trending down. So don't be shocked if it does this. And now it's forming somewhat of a triangle, you can say. And so if it breaks above that, that thing is going higher. And I would have to say if it breaks below here, you have to watch out that this market could be going lower. All right. And we'll end with the with the Singapore market, and that is just sitting tight, not doing anything right now. Again, we're waiting for it to break above this level right here. If it can break above this level right here, we can see this market going higher. So that's kind of like the world view of the market. Sorry, I did not have this ticker symbol for Chinese market, but trust me, they still look the same. But at the end of the day, that's kind of like what we just want to show you. Is like there are signs that are showing that this market could be going up. We just have to wait. Let me put this right here with the Singapore market. This is the triangle that is forming. If it can break above that, this is showing that it's trying to go higher. So October, if October ends up becoming a month that does nothing, I will not be shocked. I would not be surprised. If anything, I would actually be surprised if it does move big. Okay, that I will be shocked, but we'll be prepared for that as well too. All right. But November is when we see if this repeats itself like it did in 1985. November will be the month to be prepared for. So one of the things I like to tell people is be prepared. You know, saying opportunity favors those who are prepared. So be prepared for what's about to happen. And I truly see November being one of those. I could be wrong, but I'm prepared to do, to take advantage of what happens if this market really goes up like it's showing what it did in 1985 when November comes this year, because it seems like it's trying to repeat the same process. And if that is correct, then our timing would be that November of 2016 will be the exact repeat of April 1985. All right, that's it for me today. Or should I say, no, not April, but May of 1985. That's it for me today. I hope you guys trade confidently. Like we always like to end on this note, remember to trade on the right side with confidence.